Hello, my name is Eunique Yazzie. I helped co-write the land acknowledgement, which is called This Is My Land and This Is Your Land. It is a piece that brought together two people that really wanted to pay homage to what it meant to be Native American, but also indigenous to the lands of Arizona. We were able to work with Luke and some of his ideas that he had already kind of forged along the way. We knew we wanted it to be a prayer or a poem and take it farther than just acknowledging the facts about the land, right? The history, the stories, and the people of the land. We also wanted the representation to be brought to the audience by the actual members of the people who are on these lands. And so we invited three amazing women, and they were able to do a voiceover characterizing the elder of the community and then the younger generation of the community. And all of them were able to kind of talk through what that meant to them, and then also be able to speak the words and say the prayer as the film continued. It is a heavy responsibility because, again, I'm Navajo. My lands are north, I want to say northeast in the Four Corners area. It is the largest reservation in America, but I think a lot of media and a lot of storytelling gets dominated by the Navajo representation. And not to say that it's not a beautiful story or a beautiful heritage and language. I just feel like there needs to be space to be created for other tribal nations and their community that are whole lot smaller and don't necessarily have the resources to voice themselves and amplify themselves in the way that this film did. So that responsibility is definitely heavy, and I see it as more of a community effort. I see myself as being a true collaborator of Indigenous people. And so whenever I get the opportunity to be able to support in all the resources that they would need to be able to have their voices lifted, I love to jump into those kind of collaborations. So as a creative, I'm originally a designer, an artist. I also work in IT. So I do know how to coordinate things in a process that really mimics the thought process that goes into these works. And so what I'm really good at, I think, is being able to communicate that in a way that artists and people who have never been through a process like that can understand. And so when we were trying to recruit for different people, it's really just tapping into your networks and tapping into the way that you bring people in. Luckily, we have Cahokia, and Cahokia is the hub for us to be able to pull all these different resources, and how we create terminology around that is complementary skill sets. So a lot of the people we pulled in also have other gigs, have other things about them that are amazingly interesting. Like Lourdes is a model, and she's also a spokesperson as far as like being an advocate for her community. And Joanne Miles Long has been well known in the Apache, and I want to say the entire indigenous fashion industry for knowing, or at least completing a lot of all of her designs and putting it out there so that people can wear. And so bringing them in and utilizing their voices really gave them another skill set that they can lean on. And so I know a lot of them had traveled out to be a part of this event, or at least a part of the filming. And when they were able to do that, I think it allowed them to be a part of something that still had their story intact to it. And I remember just sitting there, and as they read it, right, repeatedly over and over again, they began to feel it, and they, turned to me and they said, "Wow, these words are powerful because I can now feel it. I can feel the rhythm that is coming from it." And that's what that true connection is, as far as like how to work with Indigenous communities. A lot of us are passionate in what we do, but we always center ourselves in resonating behind why we're here.